You guys think that a Bulgarian trains your glutes or quads, but it actually doesn't train the muscles that you think it trains. The real muscle it trains is your will to live. So today I'll be training with Jacob. He'll be taking me through a workout and also just to get a little bit of intensity back in my routine because you get a little bit complacent sometimes with your training. So yeah, we'll be doing that together. You excited?
Yes.
Cool, awesome. Yes, I'm wearing a waist trainer. I'm honestly feeling very fluffy today. I had a birthday, but that's a whole other story. So, is there any much point in the back off set?
The back off isn't actually backing off of intensity. It's just backing off of the weight so we can do a higher rep range.
Why do we want to do that?
Because we want to work the muscle in different rep ranges.
Okay.
To get different stimuli.
We want to shock the muscle.
We want to get different stimuli.
Normal weight is 110 for 10. This is 120.
Right. Well then,
I reckon I can do it.
6 to 10 here, basically.
Okay. As many as you can fucking do. Every set should be treated like an AMRAP. We're not a fan of reps in reserve, are we?
Not particularly. It depends.
Unless...
Not in general, no.
It's context dependent, but for the whole, no. AMRAP.
But it's an AMRAP to technical failure, not mechanical failure. Okay, big breath, tight. Drive. Easy, fucking easy. Let's go. Up. 2, all day. Let's go. Smooth. Driving. 3. Good. Control. Don't walk the knee so hard. Go. 4. That are tight. Go. 5. Control, control, control at the top. Go. Smooth. Tight. Yep. You got more. Let's fucking go. Get up. Come on. Go for 2. Let's fucking go. Get up. Go. You got 1. Come on. It's there. Push hard. Go. 9.5.
I think it was 10.
No, I pushed on it.
It was 10.
9.5.
God.
Was.
So basically with this one, I'm trying to get as much of a stretch in the quad as possible and going as low as I can. So the eccentric portion of the motion of the movement is the stretching of our quad on the way down. Really want to control that and not rush it because potentially that's where most of the injuries come from when you rush your eccentrics and it should be really controlled. And another tip, do more weight than you think. Not with sloppy form though, but you'd be surprised at what you can actually lift. Your brain is such a limiting factor. So you might be comfortable at a certain weight, you can lift fucking more. Try more. I just lifted 10 kilos more than I normally do for the same reps as last time and I thought I was capped out. But I wasn't sacrificing form. It was still pretty decent.
Good.
There's a difference. So for example, if you normally do like 110 for 10 on leg press, but then you increase it to 120, but then you half your range of motion like that, that's cheating. That's not going to count. We got to think, what's the forefront goal? Hypertrophy. And if it's hypertrophy, practicing in a full range, controlling the descent and being very intentional about each rep. Feeling very, very like a fluffosaurus today. Can put all of the extra intramuscular glycogen to use.
Smooth. Go. Come on. Come on, 3. Get up. Come on. Come on. 2. Get up. Come on. Drive. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Look at this 10.
Nothing is more uncomfortable than leading a life that you never test your capabilities and just live very comfortably.
Push hard. There. Down. Go. There. Go. Tension. Down. Down. Go. Stop. Stop. Up. Then stop. There we go. Up. One more. Stop. Hard, hard, fucking out. 8.75.
That's really hard not being able to lock out at the top. It's really unsatisfying.
I know it is.
It's really...
Because there's no break from the pain. There's no break from the tension.
Yeah.
Whereas usually like, whereas this just goes building.
So what I'm doing is I'm stabilizing the leg that's working. With the opposite leg, I'm pushing my foot in to stabilize my hips. Because if you don't, I find like your hips are way easier to shift. You can really just stabilize and it feels a lot stronger. Either planting that opposite foot on the ground if you don't have a Watson single leg press, or planting it on the machine there allows you to really stabilize your hips a lot better. If you can, a Watson machine is amazing because they've got such a great range of motion. You can get a really nice stretch.
And also, imagine you're spinning, like not just necessarily externally, like rotating, like abduction of the hip, but actually rotating,
yeah,
like actually twisting. So
most likely if you have knee valgus, which is knees knocking in on a squat or leg press, it's usually due to weak external rotator muscles. So weak glute med, weak TFL, yeah, most of the time. Yeah, okay, let's go. Gotta mentally prepare myself.
So one more set, the last set. Tension, driving, stop, good. Don't let that jolt. Up. There we are. Don't turn in. Driving. There. Good. Tight. Go. Oh, come on. Tension. Let's go. Come on. Up. Right there. Down. Good. Hard. Down. 6. Good. Tension. Driving.
Too much.
Again. Come on. Don't lose it. Go. Down. Now big breath. Hard.
One more.
No, that's it. Don't do more on one leg than the other.
The only time we don't typically go to failure is if you've got one really strong leg. So I know this leg has the capabilities to do 5 more reps than the other. And I want the strength of my weak leg to catch up. So I'm not going to go to failure on my stronger leg, if that makes sense. All right, next one. So now we're moving on to a pendulum squat. Honestly, you guys have probably seen this day before, but it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna spice up new workouts every single time, just for YouTube. Most of the reason why people don't progress, in fact, is because they change their training up way too often. If you're changing your training programs every 4 to 6 weeks, or God forbid, just coming in and doing a different exercise every single time, you're never really building on something to progress. Basically, the same boring shit over time that you can progressive overload on is going to get you the best results. There's no magical exercises. Just nail your compound lifts. Aim to get stronger for a really long time. You don't need to be spicing things up or changing things every time. They're going to give you worse progress in the long run. So basically, a higher elevation, that is going to be more glutes and hams, as well as a higher foot placement. More glutes and hams. The lower it is, that's going to be typically more quad, but my ankle mobility is really poor, so I find that my heels like lift up and it just doesn't feel great if I have it too low. I can't really stabilize myself into the movement.
But
so,
if you do go lower, you can also cause knee pain. So if you're having knee pain, definitely increase the incline. And it obviously does matter as well of your ankle flexibility. If your heel is coming up, it's not a definite no-no, but it just does reduce your stability and heightens the chance of you being able to roll an ankle or something like that. Do the same external rotation in this leg. Yeah, that's okay. That's good.
Okay, cool. By the way, this was a total accident. I didn't mean to dress in all red. I feel like Spider-Woman. I feel like a piece of Muscle City gym equipment right now. I could be a piece of gym equipment.
So minimum 6, but as many as you can. So tight. Good. Actually keep that rotation back. Tight. Tight. Yep, keep that chest up. Keep your chest up. Tight. Go. Yes. 3. Exactly. 4, don't fucking drop it. Go. There we go. Deep breath. Go. There we go. That's better. Up. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, up, up. Come on, you got this. Come on. Go. Push for 1. Go. 1.5.
It was 10.
1.5. I helped.
So a couple of days ago, Jacob and I only had my own birthday. He didn't have my birthday, but it was my birthday and we decided to take a break from tracking macros completely for that day.
Not the day, for 1 meal.
It wasn't for 1 meal. It was like, no.
It was 2 meals.
2 meals of probably over 4,000 calories each of us. We got Krispy Kreme. We got, what else did we get?
We got Coles cookies. Then we bought the chocolate.
We shared 3 pizzas. We went a bit ham. Yeah.
Ice cream.
Yeah. I'm just like, you know what? We're going to take a break from tracking macros. It's my birthday.
And it was terrible.
Don't lie.
I mean, the food was good, but I'm breaking out now. I'm like...
The trickiest thing is getting back to a regular diet after having a day or a couple of days like that, because of obviously, you know, the hormone changes and drops in like glucose and yeah. Enduro gel sachets.
Right, we see each other again.
Hello.
You know, you and I both have the flaps.
We love flaps hanging out.
In that case, let me turn you on, baby.
You guys think that a Bulgarian trains your glutes or quads, but it actually doesn't train the muscles that you think it trains. The real muscle it trains is your will to live.
I want you to have your front foot as far back as possible, and then we just want to have this be lined up to where you can get the biggest stretch in your rec fem.
Yeah. So basically, we don't want to be like that. For more quad bias, we're going to tuck our hips underneath, have a posterior pelvic tilt. Imagine you're like Michael Jackson, like wee-hoo. And then, yeah, pushing your hips forward, and we're going to be more upright with more knee flexion as opposed to like hip hinging with our feet forward. I know what I'm talking about. Basically, this one's really good for getting a nice stretch in your rec fem. So this muscle here, that gives really your quads a lot of dimension, but probably not the best exercise if you have knee injuries, because it does strain your ligaments around your knee quite a bit.
So, tucking, producing, opening, tension, kicking in.
Oh,
Beautiful.
crying.
Yes. And at the same time, pushing your knees forward at the front. Don't sit back necessarily into it. So open everything.
Let's go.
Ignore every previous weight you've ever gotten. Get on the machine.
This music is too hectic for 11 a.m.
Go, come on. Okay. Rotation, knee, down, stretch. Main thing in focusing on the stretch position is here. Open this, tension, push, kick in. Don't throw that knee forward. Keep tight, keep that tension. Drive. Yes, 3, there we are. Keep that knee down, open up, tight, drive. 4, good again. Go. There we are. Tight, 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 open. 6, good, again. Tight, kick in. 7, yes, there we are. Hard. Tension. 8, that's better, that's better. Tight. 9, there we are, good. Push the knee forward. Open. Go. And let's go. 2. Go. When you're more, fucking keep that tension. Let's fucking go. Go. Yep. Good. 13, good shit.
Mummy. All right, so Jake, he's got to leave now, unfortunately. So we'll just be continuing the rest of this with just me. Yeah. But first, I've got like one more question.
Will you marry me? No.
If you had to have any superpower, what would it be?
I don't know.
Put you on the spot
The
there.
ability to not answer questions.
Come on, that's lame.
I don't know. Super sexiness. I don't fucking know. All of them would be useful. Probably invisibility.
I meant a few words.
The ability to not die.
I would pause time. The ability to not die, that would suck.
Immortality.
That would suck.
I wouldn't.
The world explodes and you're still just like there floating around space.
Immortality.
Okay, not what I would choose,
I
but
could blast gear and never have to worry about it.
we'll cut that bit out.
Bro fist.
Goodbye, Brosive. All right, now the workout is actually going to get interesting. If a brief, tiny period of momentary physical pain is not like that moment of pain is so worth it for the results you're going to get. And if you can't endure a tiny bit of physical pain for such a brief period of time, you're most likely wasting your time in the gym, and it helps to cultivate such a resilient mindset as well. I didn't also always used to be able to train at this intensity, but you've got to ask yourself, can I physically do more at the end of the set to really tap into those effective reps? If you don't fundamentally enjoy what you do as well, like if you don't enjoy the gym, you're never going to succeed at it. You're not going to get amazing results. I think you really have to fundamentally love what you do to progress in this and get really good. And it doesn't mean like if you don't have bodybuilding goals, that's fine. But if your goal is to really build a lot of muscle, increase your strength, look sexy naked, and the list of benefits goes on, then you should really be challenging yourself in the gym and not training like, excuse my French, but a fucking pussy. Doesn't mean that you need to train 6 days a week and it has to consume everything you do, but you really have to enjoy your workouts to get great results, because it takes time, way more time than most people think. Like I've been training for a decade now, and I do not look like I've been training for a decade. Okay, so now we're moving into toe press on the leg press machine. So more of a quad bias version of a leg. Okay, so now we're moving into toe press on the leg press machine. So more of a quad bias version of a leg press. Today my goal is to hit 4.5 plates each side, but to really take down the weight and focus on technique a bit. Last time I did feel very frumpy. If you do have, a weight load you've hit, but it just doesn't feel great, what I like to do in my training program is, I use an Excel program, but if you use Sheets or like a notepad, you can do this as well, is just write down next to that set how it felt. Like if it felt really good at a certain weight, just wrote felt really smooth, great activation. If it felt, heavy, but just like you weren't really activating the muscles, or didn't feel a good stretch, or the form was a bit crap, just write a little note next to it. And that way you've got a way of knowing each time, because sometimes you just can't rely on the numbers only. 2 sets can be equal weight, but they can feel completely different and have a very different effect. So what I like to do is I wrote last 3 reps, quarter reps, or if they went full range of motion, or just like little things, little notes for myself for next time. So what I'm doing is really pushing an equal amount of force through the pad with my heels, with my toes, with the ball of my foot. There's an even weight distribution. And this way, like I'm pressing so it keeps tension through the quads. I also like to kind of squeeze my shoulder blades together and get a grab of the backrest, just to create more kind of stability in my body. The more rigidity and tension you have in your body, the more energy you're going to have for that set, but also you're going to be able to transfer the force back through the body instead of just like letting it go out. So this means like bracing, keeping everything really tight. I was getting terrified the machine's gonna crush me. It was hard set. I listened to this podcast episode the other day, and it was about not talking to people about what you're going to do before you do it. And it really resonated with me because I've done that in the past where you talk about, you know, what you're going to do before it happens, and most oftentimes you can get high on the dopamine release of just what you're doing, what you say you're going to do, and then you don't even become excited about the project or what you're doing anymore once you've, you know, told people. And also there's now that external pressure and expectation from other people. So if anything, I've learned my lesson. Don't talk to other people about your finances. Don't talk to other people about what you're doing, what projects, what ambitions you're doing, because you really can get high on, you know, those hormones in your brain just by talking about what you're going to do instead of doing it. So leave the excitement to yourself. I've been stuck on a weight plateau with this one for quite a while. So I increased the weight to a lot more than I'd previously done. Normally I was stuck at like 25/7, but today I tried 30 for just as many as I could. A little tip, like if you're stuck at plateaus with exercises, there are so many different ways to get over plateaus. Basically, you could change the exercise, or if instead of trying the same weight for the same amount of reps every time and you're just not progressing, what you can do is you can go a lot more weight than the previous time. For example, if you were stuck on, let's say 10 reps to 20 kilos, next time you could try 30 kilos for 6 reps or 25 kilos for 8 reps. And then the time after that, you could try like 15 kilos for 12 to 20 reps. And then when you go back to that original weight, most likely you'll probably progress from that. Because we've got to try different stimulus. We can't keep banging our head against the wall. Or you could also add a pause in the eccentric place of the movement. So for example, if I'm doing a row, you could like add a pause at the bottom to make you stronger in the weakest part of the movement for a couple of weeks. And then when you go back to just your normal reps, most likely you would have beat that strength plateau because you've now gotten stronger in the weakest part of the movement. All right, so now we're moving on to a mag grip lat pull down, which I haven't done for a little while, but there is a lat pull down variation in my program, so I'm excited to do this. I was never really a fan of a mag grip. I always like a D handle bar because it's a more neutral grip, and this one you can't really wrap straps around, or at least I haven't learned to master that. But today we'll be rocking with a mag grip lat pull down. Now the key with lat pull downs that most people do incorrectly is they'll either use like way too much momentum and they'll treat it like a lawnmower. They'll like swing it back, way too much momentum, or they like their shoulders come up near their ears and they end up doing like shrugs. So we want to do neither of those. The key is really depressing your humerus. So thinking about as we're pulling down, pinning, imagine someone's got a string attached to your shoulders and they're pulling them down to touch the floor. So another way you can do this is what Andrew Locke says, which is pin your shoulders down as if you're trying to touch the ground with them. Keep them pinned down as you raise your arms up, and you should feel your lats engaging. Keep them held down. That's what we want to do on the shoulder press and on the lat pull down, to really engage our lats instead of like that. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking about depressing my shoulders and driving the elbows into my hips. rather than just like yoinking it down like that. And pause at the bottom. Get a full stretch. Pause. A little bit of lean back's okay, but not like excessively. It's going to be hard to not emotionally attach to your weight and your sets, but I think the next level of kind of gym maturity is being able to separate your emotions from the weights you're doing in your training. That is definitely something I am getting better at. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm guilty of definitely emotionally attaching to that, you know, those weights because it's like our ego, but sometimes we've got to really take down the weight and focus on form because the overall goal, do you want to lift 100 kilos or do you want to look like you lift 100 kilos? There is a difference, and the difference is applying intention as well as intensity, but also having that maturity to take down the weight if you feel that your form is getting a little bit sloppy because you're sacrificing the end result and like you're undermining the entire purpose of your training if you're only going after weight loads, like if your goal isn't powerlifting. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. All right, thank you. All right, if I'm being like truly honest with you guys, I am still battling some mad imposter syndrome over showing up and making videos and just being filmed in the gym. So yeah, battling some mad imposter syndrome, but improving over time. I hope you got some value out of this video. Let me know down below what kind of vids you'd like to see next. Yeah, see ya. I literally just went to go walk to my car. I walked a couple of 100 meters and then realized I'm parked right next to him. That's such an ADHD thing, is to forget where you parked every single time.